has happened. And I think we all are trying to reflect on these questions, because if we would have not come up with these questions, we would not have been on this platform or various other webinars and courses which we want to empower ourselves as teachers, so that we can cater to the transformation and the evolving education that we are going to face. So some of the questions which I would like you all to reflect, not only now, but in future. The most important question that I would like you all to ponder on is the smile, happiness, joy, and fun that we can bring in our students. Can we make our teaching learning process a joyful one, a happy one? Ever we have reflected on this? I think the current situation that we are facing on the online is not very easy. It's a challenging one for all of us, with respect to our students who do not have ample of resources, or even we at times may not be able to use the resources that we have. So my journey with you all for today would be a new strategy that we all will learn. I think these are some of the statements that our students always tell us, or we try to interpret. I would just take one. I feel confident when I learn with my peers. I think this is what I relate to. And also, I learn easily and quickly by visual images. Because as you know that we listen to react and not respond. So today's generation wants more and more variety. How, as we teachers, can give them variety and make this teaching learning process an effective one? I believe that the current situation focuses on the 21st century education. What is this 21st century education? For me, it would be constructivism, it would be cooperative learning strategies, it would be collaborative learning strategies. Now, what is constructivism? As by the term itself, it says constructing your own knowledge based on the prior knowledge. So how do we get this prior knowledge? How does constructivism work? It focuses on three approaches. It has the cognitive approach, that is, it says that the individual or the child, students, learns through the prior knowledge on the basis of accommodation and assimilation. The next is the social constructivism approach, where it is said that the child learns through social interaction with the culture and the society in which he lives, and the radical approach, which says that knowledge is invented and not discovered. By these three approaches, I'm sure you must have understood what is constructivism all about. Cooperative learning. I believe that the cues that we talk about, that is intelligent quotient, social quotient, emotional quotient, I think these two strategies cater to the social and emotional part that I'm talking about. Mutual respect, shared goals, independent learning, sharing of ideas. I think the 21st century education is all about cooperation and collaboration. And that's the reason the platform that we have collaborated with our alumni, because I believe we all are lifelong learners and we all learn from our students. And I believe that we all learn till we die. I will move ahead as to what is blended learning approach. I'm not going to go too much into the theory part, because I believe we all have the resource, that is the Google Guru, which will help us to understand. But I will focus more from giving you the basic understanding of blended learning. The term itself, if you see the terms that are there in blue, use of traditional classroom teaching methods with the use of online learning for the same students studying the same content in the same course. The main feature of blended learning is a thoughtful fusion of face-to-face and online learning experiences. We believe that virtual learning is the best learning. But yes, at times our students need us. A teacher cannot be outdated, or a teacher cannot be without a classroom. Our students need us. So this is an approach where the importance of teacher is given, as well as the importance to online learning is given. And this was given by garrison and work in 2008. The main important thing that I would like to focus on blended learning, that many researchers have also proved that there is an increase in the ability of the students to be creative, to learn creatively, to enhance their higher order thinking skills. We all are focusing on how to facilitate, how to enhance our among our students the higher order thinking. That I would say in all the sessions we have talked about critical thinking, decision making, problem solving, but how are we going to achieve to this particular goal? These are some of the variations that you can bring about in your classroom by using blended learning. Now, I would like to say that learning online itself is a skill which we all need to relearn. I would like to focus over here that there are important areas that we need to think upon, that the role of the communication is changing in a blended learning or an online platform. The role of the teacher is changing in the online platform. The role of the students is changing, and basically overall everything is changing in the current scenario that we are looking upon. I will like to take one and give you one example on each. First, I will start with blended face-to-face class. Now, if you see the word blended itself says mix, a mixture, a blend of anything that you want as a teacher. So when I say a blend face-to-face classroom, here I mean to say that the individual is learning in the classroom, but his home learning, or at home he's reading more about what he wants to learn or he's curious about. So a teacher, if you see, we majority of us follow this blended face to face in before March 2020, and now we have come up to this blended online classroom where we say that we use the Zoom platform as well as we give them online resource material to read. This is one example that I would like to share. Classroom is the reverse of the blended online classroom, which I would say that the teacher flips. Now, this again is what we are following. The teacher gives lectures, then the teacher tells them in rotation that this can be done in the, I'm trying to focus that all the blended learning approach is that when you can practice with trial and error on the virtual classroom, as well as you can do it when you go back to your classroom. So a flipped classroom is you flip your teaching strategies or activities from one aspect to another. I would say that the flipped classroom would be, now we all of us have some resource problems with regard to the internet or the resources that are available. If the teacher has one computer, the teacher can flip the classroom into small rotational groups, and teacher can give some books in the classroom to read, and teacher can use the lab also to teach. So there can be a flip of classroom activities and strategies. The rotation model is almost on the same line that I talked about, but here there are rotations done among the students. That is, the teacher can make stations. The teacher can have 3 stations, a station where the teacher gives the instruction, a rotation model, a station where the teacher can do experiments, and a rotation model where the teacher can experiment and see how much the students can learn. Going further, not taking much of your time onto the theory, I will talk about how is blended learning beneficial to all of us. Opportunity for collaboration at a distance. It helps the students to come on a platform of intellectual endeavors where from distance also you can teach. Increase flexibility, that is anywhere, anytime you can teach. Developing higher order thinking skills. We will see through this session how we can develop higher order thinking skills, enhance learning, how we can make our students go beyond what their level is, and enhancing life skills. I think operating technology and other solving problems is what we are all doing in the present situation. Learning to be virtual citizens. Digital skills are the essential skills to be lifelong learners. And how are we going to be that? By trying to use this strategy, which I'm going to explore today. This is the strategy which I'm talking about. It is rightly said that learning is not the product of teaching, but learning is the product of activity of learners. So let's see, Webquest is the 21st century tool, which is a blended strategy, and a teacher can use this strategy in the classroom. This model, let me give you a brief history about Webquest. Webquest was developed in 1995 by Bernie Dodge in San Diego State University. He was the first person who realized that web resources can be used can be used through an inquiry-based learning. He also said that the teachers need to question themselves as to does digital literacy resources develop higher order thinking? How are we going to tame these internet or online resources in order to give our students the learning environment that we want? So the answer to this dilemma is Webquest. Webquest is a strategy, or I would say an activity, which has certain steps to follow. And I would say that it is it is a tool which is very versatile. It is a tool which is very valuable in today's time, and a teacher can bring about modification according to the need of the student. This is a strategy or a tool which, or an activity, I would say, that the teacher uses the web to make the students learn. This strategy can be used in the introduction section, it can be used for summarization, or it can be used to teaching. But one thing is clear, that through this strategy, you cannot teach factual things, but yes, you can develop many other skills that you want to. What are the steps of a Webquest? You will see that these are the universal steps that are followed in Webquest. First, if you see any lesson plan, if you see a lesson plan, it starts with a warm up or an introduction. Second, what is this first introduction that it talks about? It gives the background information, it gives key vocabulary. Now, what is this that we need to focus on? Here is how will you build in the students the curiosity. It is a springboard that you need to give to your students to come into the process or lead the process of inquiry. So here the teacher will introduce them with a variety of new concepts, or give a basically a base knowledge to the students. I would not say that the teacher introduces the lesson, but with that the teacher also tells them that what new concepts will they be facing in the topic. Next, task. Now this is an important part of the step of the strategy, because it is a challenging one, as the main questions of what the students are supposed to do in this particular activity. Here the student get at a glance what they are supposed to do. Like, it should be very challenging, it should be motivating for the students, as well as it should have meaningful learning. This particular step gives a deeper understanding what the students are going to do, and these are related to their daily life experience. I would say a storytelling method could be used over here, where in the first step you can use a storytelling, you can show pictures, you can do a variety of things, that you can have a debate in the initial stage. Second is where you tell the students, give a detailed description about, it is an informal description about what the students are going to do in this particular step. Process. This is a step-by-step guide to activities and research. Tasks based on predefined information sources. It should culminate in a product. Now, this is the actual part that the process starts. Here, the teacher poses the questions. I will show you a lesson plan after, when I finish discussing the steps. Here, the teacher gives the variety of links or web resources to the students, and a variety of questions are given to the student in order to learn. Here the students learn on their own and follow the instruction step by step. Here some extra information is given, because I think one resource site is not enough for the students. Basically, this is what we are developing is e-content in short in one particular activity. You need to identify the right resources, you need to identify the right, and you also have to see that these are not long videos, because the students tend to get bored very easily. Boredom comes in because the child is studying on it on their own. So here try and see that you have small short videos, or you can have a PPT, or you can have any notes that you want. Now the question comes, first I will discuss and then I'll tell you about the more diverse needs that you can cater through this activity. Evaluation. Now evaluation can be done in three parts. It can be done evaluation by the teacher, it can be done evaluation by the peers, and it can be an overall assessment that the teacher can do. Now evaluation by the teacher can be done by rubrics. It's a very huge topic that we can take up some other time to talk about rubrics, and I'm sure you have come across this type of assessment where the rubrics are available online, and you also can create keeping in mind the need of the task. Basically you have to see that the evaluation is, the student know where they are evaluated, they are should be clear about the criteria on where, what they are, their performance is evaluated. They need to be, the teacher needs to be consistent, the teacher needs to set certain standards in order to evaluate. And peer evaluation, here the students can share among themselves their views, their opinion about what they have learned and how they have learned, and they can give feedback. And the last is teacher can also conduct assessments, like she can ask the students to do a PowerPoint presentation, she can ask the students to do a project, and also your cooperative strategy and collaborative strategy are a part of it. How it is a part? Because here the teacher can assign roles to the student, give responsibility, give them the ownership of learning. Now there are many questions I'm sure going on in the mind of the teachers on the platform over here, and usually we say it's very easy to say that you need to develop higher order thinking skills, you need to make the students independent learners, you need to make the student learn on their own, ownership of learning. But how do we cater that in a classroom of 40 and 50? And how do we cater to the classroom where the where students come from a background which we are not aware of, or they are the first generation learners? How as a teacher we are going to do all these things? These are the questions that usually comes to my mind also every time when I try to use a new strategy. So evaluation can be done in three parts, and the last is conclusion, that is reflection and summation of the experiences and products in order to extend and generalize what was learned. Now I will give you an example of a lesson plan where all these steps are included, and you have online websites that you can create. You have online Webquest available, which is of free, you can use, you can publish. Now the question comes to, this is for the students who have good reading skills, these are for students who are gifted learners. No, this strategy or activity can be used in an inclusive education also. It can cater to students from learning disabilities, because we have apps where the reading can be done by the computer. If you see the Google Doc, you have that voice recorder or voice reading where the computer does the reading for you. So in today's time, I don't think so it is impossible to experiment with such type of activity. As I said, that it caters to the diverse needs of the student, it is inclusive in education, it is available online, it is of free. The information that you have to fill in for becoming a member over there is just very simple steps that we have to do. I will, before going on hands-on experience, I would like all teachers to focus on these 5 guiding principles that one needs to keep in mind while planning the Webquest. The word focus, you need to keep in mind whenever you are planning a Webquest, the word focus should be, what does this focus stand for? F stands for great sites. Now, how do you know that it is a great site? We all know that we need to be digital responsible learners. We need to make our students digital responsible learners. How our parents are worried about their children when they are online, when they are using internet, because they feel that they are not responsible enough to use internet, because they may get into any site which is not relevant for the students, or they can use it. So in that case, the teacher does the work, or the teacher with the students finds sites which are relevant to the students. So here you can identify few important sites like the search engine. You must know where you will get your material. Now we all know that Google Scholar, if you want to do any research, you have Google Scholar, you have Eric, you have so many other sites where if you just go on those sites and you get the relevant material. So the teacher should identify search engines for themselves as to which are the sites that she's going to use. Now, she also has to be very careful with regard to when the child uses the site. These should be, as I said, clickable sites where the child clicks and automatically the child goes on to the sites. The next is O, orchestrate your learners and resources. What do you mean by this? Here, you mean that you need to organize your learners, you need to organize your resources. How are you going to do? Organize your learners. That is, you know that you need to give detailed information to students before going on to a particular course. Now, when I talk about detailed information, I mean to say that you need to assign role to the learners as to what is their role in this particular activity. Next is organize the activity. Now, in a classroom, you see we have shortage of resources, as I mentioned earlier, where it is said that the teacher has one computer in the classroom and she has students in large numbers. At that time, what is the teacher going to do? She's challenged with all these things. So the teacher can use one computer. She can plan some activities in the classroom, or she can use various classrooms of the school in order to cater. Many a times I've seen that collaboration is not done. You can also, the students, teachers can also merge two divisions together in order to have such type of learning. Challenge your learners to think. How are you going to challenge your learners? Now, in this particular point, we need to highlight how are you going to challenge the learners to think. That is the greatest challenge that a teacher needs, I think so, in the current situation which we are talking about. When I say challenge, what do you mean by challenge? Here I'm saying that the future jobs or professions that they will, the future jobs that will be looking out for individuals are individuals who can analyze and synthesize the information. They need adults who can reach to that level of understanding. So challenge your learners to make them realize how the information can be paraphrased, how you can make that information, you can synthesize and analyze these information. Use the medium. Here, other than Webquest, you can also use Bookquest. Bookquest is you can keep a variety of book in the classroom from the library. Library can never be outdated. I believe that books are the best friend, because as you see digitally also we have many issues with our health. But I believe libraries can never be outdated, or books can never be outdated. So you can use one example that I have mentioned is the use the medium of Bookquest. Scaffold high expectations. Now, many a time my students come and say, ma'am, I didn't expect that I can do this. So you need to keep higher expectations for your students. And many a times we underestimate our students with regard to using a particular activity, whether I will be successful. We all are learners. We need to do trial and error in order to understand and then adjust, adapt, modify our particular learning activity. This is what I want to say, that when there are 5 universal steps that you need to follow in Webquest. First is introduction, task, process, resources, evaluation, and conclusion. If you go to see, there are 5 guiding principles that you need to keep in mind when you're doing this particular task, this particular activity. Now, let me come to a live example. Now, before I could take up this topic, I felt that why not experiment this particular web quest on my students? That is my student teachers who are going to be future teachers. Let them try out with this lesson plan. I try to do a qualitative research with my students belonging to the second year of B.Ed, and I gave them this lesson plan on Webquest, which I prepared for a sixth grade student. I did this with the intention of enriching their content, because we are supposed to brush their content when they come, and we usually get remarks, or we can say that suggestions from schools, that we need to have teachers who have mastery over the content. So I try to do this with my students, and I took students from various pedagogies. I did not focus. I took this lesson plan on geography, and I did not include only geography students in my lesson plan. I included students from history. I included students from English. So a variety of diverse students were there who could use this lesson plan of geography and understand and relate to their subject. Now, the description of the study. The objective of the study was to analyze the use of Webquest lesson plan as a blended learning strategy. I took 12 SYBH students as part of my study. And as I said, that they were belong to different pedagogies. Now, I used a graphic organizers. You as teachers can also use graphic organizers during your presentations. Here I use the KWL chart, and I first gave them the KWL chart as to what they know, what they want to learn, and what they have learned at the end of the session. So they were asked to fill up the first two columns on graphic organizers, that is KWL chart. And later on, I did a live quiz with them on this particular topic that they were given. And interviews were taken with open-ended questions. Now, what were the interpretation? These are not my interpretations, dear participants and my colleagues. This is what my students have given me the feedback. Before I go on to the feedback, I would like to show you all the lesson plan. This is the lesson plan that I prepared for my student. The subject was geography, grade was of sixth grade. They were sent these lesson plans, and a description was given to the students what they were supposed to do. The topic was on rocks, types of rocks, and rock cycle. I gave them these three topics under thinking that this would be, they are matured student, they are graduate, and I can finish one topic in one go. They really enjoyed the session. The introduction consisted of these pictures and some basic questions with regard to stone. Have you seen stones in your surrounding? Where have you seen them? Do rocks seem to have same color? Such basic prior knowledge questions that I took. Then the second task, I asked them what they are supposed to do. As I said, challenging questions. I gave them, I made this lesson plan very factual. I made it very practical, thinking that teachers would say that a normal topic is okay to do, but what about a topic that is to be taught? So I took a topic where which is a current syllabus in the SSC board, and then I gave them a whole lot of instructions what they're supposed to do. Then the process, I gave them the question along with the link, and these videos were very short, 3 minutes, 2.5, 4 minutes, which they said that they really enjoyed because the videos were short. Then after that, I gave them additional information. A song was given on rocks. A mind mapping was given. My own PPT was present. I made my PPT and I gave them, where I talked about the correlation of geography with history, where I said, what are the different monuments that you know, and how are these monuments made of, and which rocks are used. So I combined my correlation of I used correlation over here of history, geography, and English, where students can use language in order to describe them. Evaluation, we did a live quiz on the particular topic, and these were the questions that I made my students do: multiple choice question, one line objective questions, and at the end, they were asked to make some notes on the particular topic. So this is what I did with my students. Where did I go? Okay. Before I go ahead, these are the interpretations that I got from the study, that the students were able to understand the topic clearly and in an interesting way, though they were not from the same particular pedagogy. They felt they could learn anytime, anywhere, which I discussed one of the benefits of blended learning, where it said flexibility is the main benefit of blended learning. They were able to imagine a lot more than what they thought of. It was a thought-provoking model. They said that this could develop their reasoning ability, decision making, and creativity skill. It enhanced their technological skills. It was a mix of book and technology knowledge, where I gave them my own notes, my PPT. They were engaged throughout. They said, ma'am, we really enjoyed it, and we would love if such type of content enrichment lesson plans were given to us as it additional information, and it made them independent learners. Now I'll show you a live interview of my student who was a part of this research.
Hello, I am Pooja Mantri and I'm a participant of the research that has been conducted. After completing the lesson plan, I realized that blended learning strategy has been used, where several videos have been incorporated for the better understanding of the concept. I had education subject in my graduation where I first studied about blended learning approach, and here I really enjoyed learning through this method, as I personally tend to learn things better when I watch it happening in front of me. So for example, here while studying about the formation of the sedimentary rocks or even about rock cycle, watching it happen helped to learn better. And I really enjoyed doing the third step, where we had a question asked and we had a video to be watched, and then we had to answer based on our understanding of the video. However, I found that step number 4 was a little less interactive as compared to the rest of the steps. However, I feel that it is a wonderful strategy to be used while teaching, and this strategy would develop interest in a child about a particular subject. Nowadays, since we know that students love learning through technology and through these digital aids, I think this is an excellent way by which we can clear concepts for students, and it would really help the students of standard 6, 7 and several other grades. I did not actually face any challenges while doing the entire lesson plan, and as I said before, for me personally, I found it to be very enriching to clear some of the concepts, and I would definitely inculcate it in maybe some of my other learning concepts. So I find it boring when I have to learn through books or through one particular method, and I like when I have several methods of learning, and this learning by seeing or by hearing helps me to remember things in a better way, and also for a longer period. And this is definitely a best recommendation for the school teachers, as it will not just help the students, but it would also help teachers to make their teaching process more creative. And I personally feel that this lesson was appropriately explained with the help of this strategy, and because rather than studying about the formation of rocks in through books, I think watching it happen would help students to understand the overall process in a much better way. And I also find that this is a very student friendly strategy, where it focuses upon how nowadays students actually learn better with the help of these digital methods. So I find it to be a wonderful strategy to be used not just by teachers but also by students to clear any concepts that they wish to clear for themselves. Thank you.
Now you would say that this is from the perspective of a teacher. They are matured students, they are graduates, their comprehension is good, they understand a lot. What about the students who are in grade 6? So I also took a perspective from my nephew who's in 6th grade. Let's see what he has to say about blended learning.
Hello, I am Pooja Mantri and I'm a participant of the research that has been
Okay, I'll show you all later. But my nephew came up with the suggestion that he said that the lesson plan was very interesting. I'll show you the video at the end. I don't want to waste the time because I have some other things to do more practically. So he said that, and I did it everything through online. But I did not go to his house, nor I told him anything. I just told my sister-in-law that I'm going to send a lesson plan. Can you ask him to please go through the lesson plan and follow instructions, whatever he had to do? So he followed the instructions and then he came and he told me, he called me up and said, and the lesson plan was very good. I enjoyed it. But what it is that the base knowledge that a teacher is important, that a teacher should come and give us the base knowledge, that I need the teacher to tell me, first give me instructions, give me the base knowledge. He gave me an example of a chocolate. He said, this is a chocolate where I want to know more about chocolates, where it was invented, how it was invented. So all those questions, the teacher should give us the base knowledge. So here when I say blended learning, I mean to say a thoughtful fusion of face-to-face as well as online learning. Only online learning cannot help. That is what I have come to this conclusion. A blend of everything is good enough. The next, this was the live poll that I did with my students on the evaluation part. And these are some of the screenshots where you can see that they actively participated. And I have a surprise for all of you all that we are going to do. Now, how to create digital websites. You will say it's a task to make lesson plans, it's a task how to go about. But in today's time, everything is there on your Google, on internet. Here, these are ready-made digital websites where you can use it for your lectures as well as you can create your own website, the Webquest. I enrolled myself for a digital Webquest and I created my own Webquest. I will just go on to this. This is my own Webquest site where I have created my own Webquest. If you see, I'm not able to open it. It's just getting open, I think, because of the internet connection. This is how your platform looks. I have already logged in. If you see, I have registered myself. This is my profile, my Webquest, my favorites, create a Webquest. You click over here, you get this page. You view, update. I think I've opened it for long or what, so I'm not able to get it. But if you see, this Webquest has all the steps of the Webquest which I discussed. Okay, I will go ahead, not taking much time. I will show you all later. This is how it looks like. See, welcome, introduction, task, process, evaluation, conclusion, teacher page, your author, reviews. You can even publish your digital Webquest. So you have to just go on www.zoonal.com. You have to register yourself. When you have registered yourself, you will get the platform which I showed you all. That is and you just click on update, and you get, and you put on pictures. I would advise you all that you first make your plan on a Word doc, and later on you just cut, copy, paste, whatever you feel comfortable in that manner. And I would also like to bring it to your notice that the pictures that you want to insert will be of JPEG. You cannot insert any other pictures. If you keep trying, you will not be able to insert, because I tried for 2 days, and at the end, with help of one of my colleague, I was able to do this particular task. So I would request you all, whenever you're doing, this is rocks and types of rocks, which the lesson plan I have made, I have just inserted it over here. I'm not able to open it. Why, I don't know, but I will log out. I will not waste my time on that, but I'm sure you have understood what I'm trying to say, that it's zoonal.com. I'll show you a lesson plan which is ready-made. I think I'll open this. I'm sorry, as you know that technology. Okay, I go further. I will show you all afterwards if I have time during the question answer session. If I'm able to do it, I will go on that. But let me tell you, you can create your own Webquest in just 10 minutes if you have your ideas in mind, if you have downloaded the pictures, if you have something, whatever you do in classroom, you can just put it digitally. This is my Webquest, which I can share the URL with you all. Now, this is an example of rubrics that you can use in a blended learning. It's a whole lot of one session that we can take on rubrics, what the teacher, how she can prepare. And these are some of the elements or domains of rubrics, that is classroom culture, management, planning and delivery, assessment and analysis, classroom technology. So these are some of the domains that a teacher can use in a blended learning approach to evaluate the students from her perspective. Now, these are some of the ready-made templates. Now, what do you mean by ready-made templates? I don't know why I'm not able to open these templates, but I was able to do it. I can show you all later on, after I finish my presentation, how ready-made templates are available, where you can just click on those and you can get the whole lesson plan on the template. I will show you all later. Now, these are some of the tech tools for website. Now, when we are using these Webquest, you also need to be interactive. You just can't leave the students with the videos. Nowadays, you have interactive tools like Kahoot, where you can use for evaluation. There are Jamboard, which you can use for brainstorming. There is MindMister, where you can use again for brainstorming, where you can call the students on the platform and you can have brainstorming session. Jamboard, through Jamboard, mathematics can be taught. Any topic, as I said, you need to develop critical thinking, higher order thinking among students. You need to use these tech or these tech tools in order to make your students tech savvy, as well as you need to develop. Now, HP5 is an interactive tool where during a video, which ready-made videos are available, you can insert a question to know whether students have seen the video or no, or the student is just trying to tell you whatever he is feeling. Padlet is again one form of tool which you can use. You can explore these. These are free tools. It is available. Jamboard is there in your Google Drive. You can easily use it. You can call students. You can share the platform. There are many other tech tools that you can use for this particular Webquest. You don't need to insert them, but you can definitely use it. Now, I have some important surprise, or I can say a surprise for you. I request all the participants to I request the participants on YouTube, as well as I request the participants on Zoom platform not to leave the platform, okay, and go on to your browser and type slido.com, www.slido.com, and I request you all to join in with this code, that is 8213, the code that you see on the PPT. Please, I request all the participants, please do not leave the platform. I would request you all not to leave the platform and go on to slido.com. I have few students who have joined in, Monica, Zubia. I request few participants also to join in, please. I have Neelu ma'am, I have Sharmeen, Melvina, Inshira, Rashmi teacher has joined. I want 1 or 2 more participants if they can be. So I go ahead with it. I have Anjali. I don't know. Okay, I have Kiran. Very good. So I go ahead with the surprise, and you can.
Nubna ma'am, you can wait for 1 more minute. Let the participants join in.
Okay, okay, Raju ma'am. Oh, great.
You can repeat the code, please. They are asking on YouTube.
Okay, the code is 8213. 8213. Can we start, Raju ma'am? I have 25 of them already, 27.
Yes,
29.
yes. Please go ahead. Yes,
I'm
yes.
starting the quiz. This goes to all of y'all. Ready, steady, go. First question to all. I'm not going to read out the question. Can we have the answers? Oh, we have 54 students who said mixing of teaching and technology. Let's see what's the right answer. The answer is use of traditional and online learning. It is not only mixing of technology and teaching. As I said, it is a thoughtful fusion of mixing of the traditional activities as well as the online. So I read it because once even I got confused when I attempted this question as to mixing of teaching and technology. But it is said that blended learning is not only a mixing of technology and teaching, but it is the traditional teaching that you use along with the next question. I'm sure 95%. I'm glad that the variations are being taken well by the participants. The right answer. Next. Let's see what's the answer. It's the B1, introduction, task, process, evaluation, and conclusion. 77% have said right. So I'm glad that I'm happy that 77% of participants could take in the steps. The last question. The F stands for, let's see what's the right answer. It stands for fine grade sites. So this is, I think we have Diane, who's got 4 upon 4, and she attempted the question in 29 minutes. Then we have Sakshi, so this is how you get the scores on your screen when you do a live quiz with your students. It's so fun, it's so engaging. We are engaging our students, we are helping our students, we are also evolving our students to come to a new way of learning. So this is what is all about. These are my references. And thank you for listening. I hope this session was useful to teachers, to my students, to my colleagues who can use such type of activity, approach or model to plan a lesson in future. I would like to show the video of my nephew actually. Can I minimize and then see the video from my video? This Raju ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. If you can open in a new tab, it will be all right. You can copy paste your links, the lesson plan template, and open in a new tab so we can share it with the audience.
Okay, I'll do it from here. Present. Can I see this?
So my aunt sent me this lesson plan of hers, and after I was done with it, she asked me, is this a good strategy for teaching? So I said it's a really good strategy, but there has to be a pre-lecture. Because the student is lost. He doesn't know, he or she doesn't know what it is. For example, a chocolate, a bar of chocolate, you tell. So they want me to research about this, but I don't even know what it is. Is it like a gum? Is it like a chewy fruit, like a chewy sweet, or is it like a hard candy? So that should be like who created it, when like questions answered in the pre-lecture, which are not there in the test or the plan, what the teachers plan. So, for example, the Frutella, as I said. So they should know that this is a chewy candy. You get in different sizes, you get in different packages, you get in different flavors. This much they should know. They have to have the base knowledge. And the pre-lecture is really important for them to have the base knowledge. Because the student doesn't know what it is, what technology is. Even though the teacher might think, oh my god, technology.
I can go on to this now. These are some of the ready-made Webquest which are available online. As I said, this is for grade 3 and 5. This is the topic landforms. You can see. This is the tab that I was talking about, the steps, welcome, introduction. Let's see. This is the introduction, what a person name, I will tell you who's created this. Ranjit Singh, Naved Badu, these are the people who have contributed. So you can see here, when I talked about collaboration, it is not only one teacher from one school who can make this Webquest. It can be made by 2-3 teachers of the same subject and can be shared by the different schools. Now, this is what I'm talking about, introduction. The teacher has inserted the picture, landforms are natural features, the base is given to them, example is given, the task, what they are supposed to do. Here, the task at the end of this lesson, you'll be able to identify different landforms, giving names and description of each. You will also be able to label these features on the map. This is the task that they are supposed to do. This is the process. See, step 1, the slideshow will give you definitions of different landforms. After that slideshow, you can test yourself using the link provided. The video is given the link. As I said, it should be supported by clickable links and sites. Evaluation. What is a landform? You will be required to do a portfolio on landforms. You must include the definition, example, description, pictures. For the next part, you will be required to build a model of any landform of your choice. Conclusion. So students, sorry. So the conclusion says, students today feel free to ask any questions they may not have asked during the presentations. Teacher will give closing remarks to the lesson. Now see, this is created by someone else, but we all can use it for our students. Why do we do double work? But together, as I said, constructivism, collaboration, cooperation can lead to so many new innovations that we can make in our pedagogies and in our classroom. Because I believe doing by one teacher, it becomes a tedious task rather than 2-3 heads coming together, and the outcome is really very good. I go on to my next template slide. Where is the template? Yeah. As I said, ready-made templates are available. Put the title of the lesson. See here, you can just delete and put your questions. If you feel you do not want to use the Webquest, task, process, evaluation, credits, everything is given ready-made. You just have to insert everything. A rubrics is also given what you're supposed to do. Evaluation, beginning, developing, all these are given. You have to put your criteria inside the evaluation rubrics and you go ahead with that. This is something which I wanted to share. I hope the topic which I have given the title to, that is evolving, engaging, and enabling our students, have been reached up to the criteria that I wanted to. And I hope this session was useful to all of you, even my students, because maybe in future they have to plan such lesson plans. And this lesson plan was done by me. I made my lesson plan, I made it on a Word doc, then I did research, and you can see the live examples that I have shared with you. Raju ma'am, is that okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much for adding one more E to the session, that is enriching, along with the E's, the 3 E's that you had given the title for. And it was a really enriching session, and we can see the feedback also from the YouTube, where Mr. Vikas Sen has written that from the day one, it has been clearly noticed that your all speakers elaborate the topic so effectively. Hence, questions are raised very less in number. Very nice presentation. Anjali Chaudhary is mentioning as an informative session. Good presentation is written by Minaj Sheikh. So we have the E's added to the E's that you have already identified for the Webquest. We'll
Yes.
take a few questions now. Lubna ma'am, is it
Yes.
all right?
Yes, sure, ma'am.
Yeah. We have a question from Dr.
Should I stop share? Should I stop
Yes,
share?
ma'am, please. Yes.
Yes, ma'am.
We have a question from Dr. Neelu Verma asking what makes a good Webquest? Share some essential and extraordinary features which make up a Webquest.
As I said, this question to Dr. Neelu Verma, that as I said, that these are universal steps. The steps may not change, but inside the steps that you as teacher want to be what you want for your students. As I said, that some students do not have the comprehension and reading skills. For that, it can be that the difficulty level of the students can be taken into consideration. The same lesson plan can be divided into 3 parts for 3 different levels of students. Now, people who have, when I talk about inclusive education, or when what the ma'am is trying to ask me is, how can I make this Webquest into a different or a unique one? As I said, that it is up to the teacher what creativity she uses. So I have given some tools to you. Now, in the introduction, when I was doing my research, I came across pictures of story, how stone was invented, and all those stories came up. So it's up to the teacher how she makes it creative. In B.Ed, we teach a number of methodologies and a variety of teaching tools to our students. So I think any sort of tools can be used in this. I don't think so. It's up to the teacher and her creativity that she can bring about in the lesson. And I think creativity differs from each individual to individual. It is based on the prior knowledge. Again, I come back to constructivism that I'm talking about. So it is up to the teacher how she uniquely constructs her Webquest. I hope I've given the answer to as I said, steps may not change, but a variety of activity and methods and other things can be added.
Yes, we have one more question from Dr. Neelu Verma only. How is Webquest different from research-based learning? Or is it one and the same?
I would say it's one and the same, but it would differ on the level of the grade of the students. In this, research skills are one of the skills that we develop in our students, which I feel we do not emphasize on developing skills. When I compare IB board curriculum with our any other boards, I feel I'm not, it's just my perception. I have nothing to hurt anyone. I know we all are good teachers. We try our level best, but I feel we lack these skills of research in our students, which sometimes I see in my students also. When I tell them to do a particular topic and do research on their own, there are so many students coming in to ask me, ma'am, is this site okay? Should I use this? Should I do that? So Neelu ma'am, Dr. Neelu Verma, I feel it is on the same lines, but little variations are there with regard to the research. But it is totally a research-based plan that is there, because only a base knowledge is given to the students in the introduction. The students are made comfortable that they are doing something different, but at the end, it is the independent learners that we are going to develop at the end.
We have a question from Assistant Professor R.K. Sandhu asking whether Webquest is paid or not.
No, it is not paid. It is free. That's why I said that it is free. But again, I would say that you can have only 3 websites for Webquest for free. That there is a limitation. As you know, that Dr. Mitesh Gala said that we need to invest if you want to give something new to your students. So 3 websites are free. Webquest are free when you enroll, register. Then later on you pay.
Yes, we have a question. Yes, ma'am. Would you like to continue, or should I ask the next question?
Yes, ma'am. You can go on to the next. I hope I've answered to the question that there are 3 Webquests freely available, and the next you have to pay. I think it is for all the activities that we do online, that 3 are for trial in order to know whether the teacher is comfortable and it suits the needs of the students. So that the trial and error process can help us to know whether we should invest or not.
We have a question from Shailendra Kaur Khokar. Is Webquest helpful for college students?
Yes, it is very helpful for college students also, because if you see that I will frankly say that school teachers would be a bit hesitant to use for grade 5, 6, 7, but it would be more applicable, I would say, for 8, 9, 10th, 11th, 12th, and also for college students, because it is said when I was doing my research, it also mentioned that please understand that if it doesn't suit the need of your students in Webquest, please do not use it. So it's up to the teacher to decide how the students get adjusted to this one form of blended strategy.
Ma'am, you had spoken about Webquests which are available on Zoonal.com.
Yes.
So as a teacher, a fellow teacher, can I make modifications according to the needs of my learners to the ready-made Webquest?
No, ma'am. These are created by educators and teachers, which are available online, and you can use it for your reference, but you can't make changes unless and until you give them the authority to change. As we have in Google Doc editor and all those things, till then you cannot change, but these are freely available and you can use it. And you can also publish it for the benefit of others. If you see on Zoonal.com, there are a variety of headers. It is not only related to the topic, but it is also subject related, but also life skills Webquest are given. There are many other forms of topics are given, which is not related to subject, but to general. You can make your CVs also on Webquest. It is given, an example is given, a research paper, how to help your students to make research paper. That example is also given on Zoonal.com.
Yeah, the appreciation comments are still coming in, Lubna ma'am, but I would like to ask a last question
Yes,
that
ma'am.
if a student to whom I have given a web quest, if he or she is facing any difficulty at any of the steps during the process, then how would a teacher guide that student? Hello, Dr. Lubna.
Ma'am, can you hear me?
Yes, now we can hear
Sorry.
you.
Ma'am, your question was, sorry, could you just repeat the question?
Yes, yes. We have given a web quest to a student, but if the student is facing difficulty at any of the steps of the web quest, then as a teacher, how would I guide that student?
Now, if you see the interview of the child, school child, he said that we need some base. So a teacher can decide a platform. Initially, she can have a half an hour meeting on the Zoom platform, or she can have a WhatsApp group. I think the kids may be too young to use a WhatsApp group. It can be done through mail. If not mail, then the teacher can decide on a platform like Zoom or Microsoft Team or any other platform which the school is using, and the students can post their questions, but the teacher should give them instructions that please jot down your queries, whatever you have, and we meet up at so and so time and so time day. So a 1 day time should be given to students in order to go through the lesson plan, ask their doubts, and have a meeting in between whenever decide the teacher can decide the platform on her own. So this is again, as I said, it's the creativity of the teacher, keeping in mind the needs of the student. And we need, as we said, we need to evolve our curriculum. How are we going to evolve our curriculum? This is the way when autonomy is given to teachers, when autonomy is given to our students, that is the time when we go ahead with bringing about innovations and changes in our education.
Yeah. I think no more questions are there. If there are any questions from the participants who are on the Zoom platform, they can unmute and ask Madam directly. Ma'am, the audience have really liked your practical work also. Dipti Bhatt is appreciating, saying it's very informative session with practical work, and even the teachers on the Zoom platform have appreciated your work, writing excellent and nice presentation. So I don't think we have any questions from the audience anymore.
Thank you so much, Dr. Talreja. But I would like to share, and I would like to thank two of my colleagues. I think I get inspired by them when it comes to technology. One is Dr. Mrs. Minakshi Lat, who always motivates me, who always guides me, and who always appreciates whatever I do. And I think this presentation, I owe it to her, because whatever I did, she really appreciated and motivated before I went in for the presentation. And the next person I would like to thank is Dr. Raju Talreja, whom I constantly kept on asking questions, and her patience level, the way she helped me, even at 10 o'clock at night when a question was there, she would say, call up, do a video call. So I also owe the practical aspect or the quiz that the slido.com was her initiative, that she said that you can go ahead with, since your title goes, please use this, it can be of some use to the audience, because it's important to engage the audience for so much time. Thank you so much, Dr. Raju Talreja, for inspiring me with your technological skills, and always mentoring me and never losing your patience to guide me further. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Dr. Lupta. And thank you for adding more ease to this title. I already mentioned enriching, it is enlightening, engaging, yes, of course. So thank you for adding all the ease and making us more aware about what Webquest and blended learning is all about. Now I request Ms. Diane Gonzalez to please propose the formal vote of thanks.
Thank you, ma'am. Good afternoon to one and all. I, Ms. Diane Gonzalez, on behalf of Bombay Teachers Training College, take immense pleasure to deliver the vote of thanks to each one who has been a part of this webinar. I would like to begin by extending my heartfelt thanks to our resource person for today, BTTC's very own Dr. Lubna J. Mansoori. We learned about the 3 C's of the 21st century education, that is constructivism, cooperative learning, and collaborative learning. Ma'am then spoke about the blended learning structures in education, the different variations involved, and the benefits of blended learning approach. Ma'am further highlighted on the 21st century tool, Webquest, which is a blended learning approach. Ma'am elaborated on the steps and the 5 guiding principles of Webquest and then presented a study conducted by her, which only enhanced our experience as participants of this webinar. Thank you, ma'am, for sharing your valuable inputs on the topic, engaging, enabling, evolving a blended learning approach. I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, for always supporting us and being a motivating leader to all of us. Thank you, sir. Any institution's alumni are key to its growth. Thank you to the BTTC Alumni Association for collaborating with us and making the session enriching for each one of us. Thank you to Dr. M.A. Ansari and Ms. Sapna Chabaria for organizing a webinar series like this, which will prove to be fruitful in the long run. Thank you to the entire faculty of BTTC for the constant support and encouragement that has been rendered all throughout. I must mention my sense of gratitude to my dearest teacher, Dr. Raju Talreja, for supervising and moderating the session. Thank you, ma'am, for guiding me and giving me this privilege to propose the vote of thanks. My deep sense of appreciation goes out to all the volunteers who have been lending us unceasing support and relentless effort. Thank you to Ms. Sharmeen Ansari and Ms. Saima Motorwala for working hard in order to make today's webinar a true success. Thank you to Ms. Inshira Sheikh, Ms. Zubia Sheikh, and Team BIAP for providing us technical assistance, which has further helped this webinar run smoothly. Last but not the least, I would like to thank the audience for their unwavering attention and wholehearted involvement in this webinar. Thank you, dear participants. I feel delighted to announce that tomorrow we have another webinar on the topic Energetic Yoga for Well-Being by Dr. Manisha Tyagi. The session will begin at 12 p.m. Do join in and stay tuned. Thank you.
1 minute, Diana. I would like to thank my principal, Dr. Bhagwan Balani, for giving me this opportunity and always trusting me for whatever the assignment or the task is given to me. Thank you, Dr. Balani. Thank you once again. I think if you would have not pushed me, I would have not gone for this session. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Dr. Lubna. I would now request Dr. Balani, Principal, Bombay Teachers Training College, to make certain announcements for the benefit of our audience. Over to Dr. Balani. Balani, sir. Sir, please unmute yourself.
Done. A wonderful session. Thank you, one and all. So thank you, Dr. Lubna. Thank you, Dr. Raju Talreja. Thank you, all students and participants. We're proud, privileged to be there with you all, learning together. We're wonderful learning community we are. Now, Bombay Teachers Training College had applied to Coursera. And we also had discussion at the board level why do not go for Coursera courses? And we directly apply to the Coursera to have permission to Bombay Teachers Training College to offer free online courses for the students. Now these courses are available with us. Now there are 3 program coordinators, Dr. Meenakshi Lath, Dr. Raju Talleja, Dr. Priya Pillai. They are program coordinators, and I will wish that all the students, you shall approach these teachers, your teachers, and learn from them how to go to the Coursera, how to get it registered. Probably you will receive an email from these program coordinators. And once you will receive the email, you will accept the invitation and you will join the Coursera courses. Now, what is the special about the Coursera? Coursera platform is one of the greatest or even the biggest platform which is available online. Concern is excellent. The content is very fresh, and even they have used modern technology. Now, once you will enroll for the Coursera courses are available for, we can say, shorter duration, the longer duration. Shorter duration maybe a 1 week, 2 week, 4 weeks programs are there. So there is one program, assessment for learning, which is there in your syllabus for SOI students. Now, if you enroll for this assessment for learning, then this program is for 4 weeks. And then one can learn at one's own pace. Suppose that if you think that you can do this course maybe in a week by attending, by listening to the videos which are available over there while completing the assignments and submitting before time also, then Coursera allows you to do that. So no doubt the time limit that they have kept for 4 weeks, but those courses also can be completed before time also. And you can enroll for more than one courses also. But what we will advise you that first you complete the courses which will be suggested to you by your teachers. Enroll in those courses, complete those courses, and then take up another courses. There are other foundational courses which are available for the teachers. And there are also courses which are based on the industry 4.0, or we can say courses, whereas courses in artificial intelligence, data analytics, machine learning are also equally available. And these courses are available only till 30th September. I don't know whether the Coursera will extend the duration for the free courses or no, I don't know. But at least as far as these 2 coming months are concerned, August and September, you will have an opportunity to complete those courses online. Now, since you are at home, apart from attending your regular classes, webinars which will be conducted regularly by us, or any other program, so you can be here with us maybe for a couple of hours, or we can say you may be assigned some other duties. You can do those duties also, doing the dry run or preparing PPTs or any other work is given to you by your teachers. But we will wish that you shall invest good amount of time in enrolling in these courses and learn from it. Now, what are the advantages of getting engaged and completing these courses? First, these courses are sponsored by Bombay Teachers Training College. And then after you complete the course, and you can obtain a certificate from Coursera about completion of the courses. So it will add earning those we can say courses from certificate from Coursera will definitely improvise as far as your own profile is concerned, portfolio is concerned. It will enrich your professional repertoire is concerned. Plus, if you'll share that Xerox copy or the digital copy of the certificate with us, then we will recognize it, and probably we will give you credits in terms of we will keep it. We will give you we can say in lieu of the assignments. So we won't ask you to do the separate assignment in different courses that you have been usually doing it. And depending upon your submission of the work is concerned or the learning hours that you will invest, we are going to recognize your all efforts, and whosoever we can say perform the best, maybe in subjects, maybe in completing the courses, we will definitely are going to recognize their work, amount, efforts, and probably the college will also issue extra certificates, meritorious academic excellence certificates to those students. Now, this opportunity is available first to the bona fide students of Bombay Teachers Training College registered in different programs, FY, BEd, SY, BEd, DLEd, FY, DLEd, FY, DLEd. ECP also can take this advantage, even though they have completed their program, but if they wish to take the advantage of this opportunity, they can do it. They shall approach it. You only need to send us your full name and your email ID. We will send you an invitation. Apart from that, we will also wish that our alumni shall also take part into that. They shall also enroll this. And if you know your friends, kindly recommend them, kindly tell them to approach us so that we can send an invitation to them. And even this platform is available for all the school teachers teaching in Hyderabad's National Collegiate Board schools, teachers teaching in BBM, MSPT, Sindh model, and all others teachers who are teaching in our board schools in Ulasnagar. We welcome them and then we will enroll them. We will send an invitation to them and we'll help them how to enroll and how to pursue learning, online pursuing, and how to complete the course and how to obtain the certificates. So mentors are there with you. Bombay Teachers Training College recognizes this opportunity and shares this opportunity with you all. So I will request all of you, please promote this Coursera courses. And another thing which I would like to tell that there are plenty of more than 4,500 courses are available online free. So whatever the course that you want to do, you're free to choose it. So we allow you to do this. And I hope that now you will grab this opportunity and will continue your learning, being at home, and you will emerge as a good learner. And whatever you will learn, we will request you kindly share with us, kindly give us the feedback, how much learning is taking place and how do you find learning online. What are your experiences? We are looking forward to interact with you more with your experiences. I think Raju ma'am is there. She is going to guide you all. Meenakshi madam will be there. Priya ma'am is also there. They're all learned. They are available 24 by 7. Very dedicated teachers. Very dedicated, we can say, administrators. And I hope that they will coordinate with you. And then let us take maximum advantage of this opportunity which has been availed to us. Now over to Raju ma'am. If there are any questions, you can ask me.
Thank you, sir. This platform is open for the audience also. We'll be posting a link shortly, probably in a couple of days on the YouTube live chat as well as on the Telegram channel. Those teachers who wish to take benefit of our Coursera course sponsored by BTTC will only have to fill in that Google form, sharing their name and email address with us, and we'll send an invite to the teachers and they can join any of the courses which are sponsored by BTTC. And this offer, as sir has already pointed out, is till the end of September. So I request all the teachers as well as all the students to kindly enroll as early as possible to take the benefit of the Coursera courses which are offered and sponsored by Bombay Teachers Training College. Thank you, Balani sir, for giving us this opportunity. I now request everyone to please rise for the national anthem.
Mandeep ma'am.